What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, okay? Oh, man.
Yeah, and I closed like the same as last week's.
That's weird.
It's weird.
What are the odds? Okay. Today, everybody, it's time. We gave you 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, that's enough time. I can't wait. I can't wait any
You should
longer.
have put in the description that there may be spoilers.
Oh, there might be some spoilers in this video. So, Spider-Man No Way Home.
So I want to start off. So I got a collection.
Yes. What are the odds?
Yeah,
right?
I got a collection, and literally the day before, or the day of, the day I go see Spider-Man No Way Home, right? So this was last Saturday from when they saw.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were recording 2 videos in the same.
All in the same go.
So
We don't even. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, Christmas, all that. Fun
Merry
stuff.
Christmas.
So, I got this collection in, and it was so full of Spider-Man goodness. And the guy wasn't even like he wasn't selling it because it was Spider-Man. Like, he sold me a big collection, and this was some of the stuff in there. So we get the death of Green Goblin, which, I mean, that didn't stick, but when do they ever?
No one dies for real in comics. Ever.
Except for Uncle Ben. Poor Uncle Ben. We got Amazing Spider-Man 252. This is the first appearance of the black suit. And what would you say the condition on this is?
Okay. It's sexy.
Oh my god.
That's what that condition is.
That's
9+.
One of the best 252s
that is
I've ever seen.
That is a near mint. And you know what's crazy? I
White
have a
pages?
copy which is in about that condition.
Really? Oh.
Like, I picked it up here.
Yeah?
From the comic.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We have the first chronological appearance of the black suit. So I don't know how much y'all know about this, but basically, so Spider-Man shows up in Amazing Spider-Man 252 in a black suit. Nobody knows why.
Mm-hmm.
For 8 months. There was an 8-month gap between 252 and Secret Wars 8, where they explain where the black suit came from. Well, what happens to the black suit? Well, in this issue, I can't believe I'm doing that. In this issue, we start to see the suit kind of creeping over Eddie Brock's hand. Okay. And then in this issue, this is the first appearance of Venom. I don't care what people say. They attribute 300 as the first Venom. But no, this one, he's on 2 pages. You see a great big Venom.
That's the whole deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he, and it even says Venom. Like, it calls him Venom in this book. So, I don't care what anybody says. $2.99 is...
Oh, look at those pages.
The first appearance of Venom.
The big black guy.
So, yeah.
Love it. Awesome.
So yeah, no, that was unfortunately there was no 300 in this collection, man. 300, I mean, that's
yeah.
like a $1,000 book.
It's okay. You got all these. It's all right.
Okay, then we get to 315, which is the first partial cover appearance.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then we get 316, which is
that bad boy,
the sexy full first appearance on a cover.
Come to Wizards Asylum if you want.
I have all this stuff available right now. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be a week from now, so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then 317. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 365. This is
first cameo of Spider-Man 2099.
Yep. So it's been picking up because of the trailer for
as it should. I'm so excited for that
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't wait for that movie. Okay, and then this may heavily tie into.
I was about to say maybe we should save that.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we save that for later? Okay. Yeah. Let's.
So then we have the wedding of Peter Parker and MJ. Then we have a couple copies of Spider-Man 1, just different covers.
Yo, I would like to give a shout out, Mark Miller. If you are watching this, thank you for the copies of Spider-Man #1 that you just recently gave to me.
Oh,
so
yeah?
He is
The McFarlane Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
Ah,
he is an awesome guy. Awesome guy. He used to run a shop.
Okay.
Selling baseball cards, comics, all that stuff. And I didn't know this, but talking to him about our podcast, come to find out that he did all that, and he gifted me like 4 copies.
Wow!
And like each one of them is a different He's got like the
Different
gold,
covers,
the silver, the like, yeah. And
That book had a lot of different covers.
Yeah, Mark, I just want to give you a big shout out, man. Thank you so much for that. That meant a lot to me. I really appreciate that. Great book. You know, it's such a classic cover. You know, who doesn't love that McFarlane goodness?
It is. Did you see the Batman homage cover to that?
Yeah. That was what was it? It just dropped.
Batman 119. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say it just recently came out, didn't it? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But
Spider-Man.
All books aside, it's time to talk business.
Yeah. So I just want to throw out, and I know this is a little later in the movie, but
wait, spoilers
from
for
this point
Spider-Man
on.
No Way Home.
When I heard that the other two Spider-Men may possibly be in the movie, you know, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, I thought it was going to be maybe a bit cameo role or something like that, maybe cheering him on.
Really?
That's what I thought. I mean,
really?
I did not think they were going to be through half the freaking movie.
They're
Spider-Man. They're suited up. They are Spider-Man again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I may have gotten a little excited. So
as you should have.
Every time one of them come on screen, we're in the theater, and I was like grabbing my wife's like, I was like, oh my
dude,
god,
people
oh my
were
god.
cheering and clapping,
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah,
yes, like this was.
When did you see it? Did you see it opening?
I just saw it yesterday.
You saw it yesterday? Okay.
Like
Same. I saw it yesterday at 9 p.m.
The day after it came out.
Okay.
Like I saw it yesterday at noon.
Okay.
Like wow.
Yeah,
Man.
we went and saw it in 3D. Let me tell you.
I didn't see it in 3D. I saw it in IMAX.
So the reason I always see these movies in 3D is because I'll never get to see them in 3D again.
Yeah.
3D added absolutely nothing to this movie.
See,
like some of the like Doctor Strange multiverse stuff was kind of cool, but overall, no. Yeah. I don't recommend the 3D on this. Shang-Chi was cool in 3D. Eternals was cool in 3D. This one was not cool in 3D.
Yeah, no, this was one of the greatest movies.
I would say this was the best Spider-Man movie.
This is for sure the best Spider-Man movie.
Out of the 8 Spider-Man movies, this is. I'm not putting Into the Spider-Verse because that's kind of a different thing.
I'm putting Into the Spider-Man,
like
period.
Man,
if it's a Spider-Man movie,
both pretty high up
there.
and
don't get me wrong, Into the Spider-Verse was the greatest.
Yeah.
Until I watched this.
Yeah.
So
one thing my wife pointed out is she didn't like this movie as much as I did. She liked it. She liked it a lot. She did not like it as much as I did. She still thinks there are other ones that are better. And her thought process on this is to really enjoy this movie, you have to watch a lot of movies. You have 7 Spider-Man movies, plus most of the MCU stuff that ties into Spider-Man to appreciate this movie.
I would disagree with that.
Really?
I feel like someone off the street.
You think just somebody off the street would walk in and have the same...
Well, think about it. Think about the way that they tell the story. It starts off oh, we know who Spider-Man is. We think he's a bad guy because he killed Mysterio.
Yeah.
And then you see his life fall to shambles. And then you see him go to Doctor Strange. And they make a reference or two to, oh, well, we've known each other. We saved the universe together. Okay, you can overlook that part. And then, hey, can you help me? And he's like, oh, yeah, let me try. And then some crazy stuff happens, and they botch a spell, and then bad guys come in. I don't really think
somebody coming off the street isn't going to have the same nostalgia that you or I are going to have about all of the bad guys.
It's not going to be the same experience, of course.
I'm not even going to who Doctor Strange is. Man,
but you could still enjoy that movie because
and I'm not saying that you would.
Even if you didn't know who those other 2 Spider-Men are, you can enjoy their back and forths and their little.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
And not saying that you wouldn't. It just might not be your favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Me and you, who have seen every MCU, every Spider-Man, every Marvel movie,
yep, I'm fully caught up. Yeah.
It
repeatedly. It was the best Spider-Man movie.
You want to know another scene that I squealed at and I was very excited? Grab my wife's I was like, oh. I mean, there were a lot of them.
Was it Matt Murdock?
It was Matt Murdock. It was Matt Murdock, dude. When he catches that brick and he's like, how did you do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
I'm a really good
lawyer.
Bro,
I love that. That response was on point. I'm a really good lawyer. He just hands it over to him.
Same week, we got to see Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock And we got to see Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. You better believe I was a little excited this week.
Freaking out, dude. Yeah, that's no, dude. I totally get it, man. That was that, and you know, it's funny because as soon as I saw him in the movie, I thought he was gonna have like a legit role.
Yeah,
but it was just
that one scene.
Yeah. Just a little, you know, just like, hey, I'm here in this universe now, and you know what? It was kind of perfect.
It was.
I loved it, man.
When do you think we'll see him again? I have an idea.
That's a great question, dude. Honestly, maybe around Blade.
I think we might see him in the Echo Show.
Or in
because they're planning on making the Echo Show,
and that's gonna be Kingpin related. That would would make sense. Yeah.
See Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox back at it. I wonder if they're gonna make references to the Netflix series, or if none of that has ever existed, and like we'll see. But
no, I'm sure they're gonna act like it. Yeah, they're.
I mean, I hope it does.
Certain. Yeah, because if they're pulling him into it, then everything he's done is a thing. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure.
I hope so. I hope so.
But man, this movie.
Yeah.
This Spider-Man movie, and it was funny because I went and saw it with some friends. Shout out my friends if you're watching this, and you know who you are. At the end of the movie, one of my friends looks over and she was like, "That was an emotional roller coaster."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, "It really was, wasn't it?" Like, wow, there was so much going on, and well, I mean, at the beginning, man. Like,
so it starts off, you know.
I liked the way that they did, you know, how his struggle. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. I thought it was going to be a bit more aggressive, but it like the way that they portrayed it was just like, oh, he's just followed by like news helicopters and like fans all the time. Like I thought it was going to be like the cops were really on him, but that part only lasted until Charlie Cox got involved and Matt Murdock, you know, solved it, and then that was kind of the end of it. I was like, oh, I thought there was gonna be more legal trouble, but
the scene where he like walks into the school, my wife turns to me, she's like, why would he go back to school? It's like when he's trying to live his life. I mean,
he's just trying to live his life, like do his thing. Like I totally get that.
I would try to go for the homeschool, but I did like the scene with Hannibal Buress and
the teachers,
yeah.
And one of them is a conspiracy theorist, dude. That was hilarious, man.
He killed Mysterio.
Yeah, he's a murderer. He's a murderer. He killed this. And
the other two are like, what's his name? Star.
They're like, yeah, it is an honor to teach you or something.
And he's like,
so good.
He's like, yeah, some of the students built the shrine to you, and then the other one's like,
by yourself.
By yourself.
This was all you. We tried to stop you. Like, and then I love how one of them was like, so feel free to walk through the halls or swing through the halls because we know you can do that, dude. And the whole time he's just standing there like I want to be anywhere else right now. Like, this is the worst, dude. Like, oh my gosh, man. There was a lot of moments that were just too relatable and just too too enjoyable. You know, this was. And then, of course, it gets a little more serious. And, you know, Peter Parker realizes that him being unmasked has ruined everyone else's life around him.
Yeah, they're kids. Yeah, they're trying to get into college,
and they're all getting turned down because, and even in the rejection letters, it says, "In light of recent events."
Yep. So they get turned down to MIT.
They're literally pointing out that. Because of you and your deal with Spider-Man, we're not taking you.
Now, that didn't affect his best friend, Flash Thompson. I love that scene where he walks in and
he's like, "Oh, no sleep till busted, dude." And I love when they're on the phone, and he's like, "Hey, Flash, where's that party for MIT people? Where is it?" And he's like, "What's in it for me?" He's like, "I'll swing you to school for a week." He's like, "A month." He goes, "A week." He's like, "2 weeks." He's like, "Come on, Flash." He's like, I love when he said, "You know what I want." He's like, "I'll tell everybody you're my best friend." He's like, "Yes."
Now I loved the No Sleep Till Boston scene. And he's like, "Yeah, you got accepted because you're not a real friend of Spider-Man."
Yeah, because we're actually friends of Spider-Man. That's why we didn't get accepted. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that sucks. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go now." Dude, this movie, man, and then he realizes that he has to do something.
Yeah.
He has got to fix this because everyone's like, not just MJ and and Ned, but everyone that he knows in his close circle, all their lives are ruined now because he's Spider-Man, and so he decides to go and talk to Doctor Strange so that he can magic his way out of this.
Yeah.
And that's his hopes. And I like how at first he was like, no, like we've messed with the timeline, that causes problems.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting there and he's like,
I don't have the time stone anyway.
And he's like, yeah, and I actually can't do that. And then he's like, but I don't even remember what the spell, or he's like the
something of something of something. Yeah.
And Spider-Man's like, and he's like,
and then Wong is like,
Wong's like, okay.
Wong is now the Sorcerer Supreme,
which was very interesting to me.
I guess they needed Sorcerer Supreme
because he was gone.
Snapped away for 5 years.
I guess, and to me, honestly, like, I feel like Wong knows that Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme, but he just kind of holds the title, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and he doesn't really, he's not like, yeah, I'm actually the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, he knows that Stephen Strange is the guy, but
and
Wong
is like, well, that spell's dangerous.
Yeah, he's like that. We don't even use that because it's crazy. Like, and he's like, oh, really? Do you remember the party after the Camartage? And he's like, no. He's like, exactly. That cracked me up, dude.
That was hilarious.
Poor Wong out here getting his mind erased after parties, dude. Like, what? When Strange was like, we've used it for smaller, less significant things. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, do you remember the party after the Camartage? He's like, no. He's like, exactly. That was so good. And so Strange realizes that he can use a forgetful spell to cast across the world,
so nobody will remember it.
So that no one will remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Which and then we're all like, "Woo, yay, great, okay." And then
as solves everything.
As he's going, he kind of starts drawing out the spell. He goes, "All right, so everyone is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man." And he's like, "Okay, wait, everyone? No, like, what about Aunt May? What about MJ?
No, it was
what
MJ
about
first.
Ned?
He's like,
and so then he starts drawing other spells, and they're all kind of like stacking on top of each other, and then Doctor Strange starts to have a problem. Peter won't shut up. He's like, what about this person? What about this person? What about this person? And he's like, everyone who already knew beforehand needs to still know. And things get a little out of control, and we see that reality literally starts to break.
Yep.
And luckily, Doctor Strange is the true Sorcerer Supreme, so he's able to contain this spell in a tiny little glass whatever. And right, and we'll
okay.
And we he contains this, and he's like, look, man, you just wrecked that spell, and if I hadn't contained it, you have no idea the ramifications. Like, we could have broken the multiverse,
the whole
multiverse. if you would have kept being a fool. And he's like, and it's funny because when Peter first goes there, he's like, oh, thank you, sir. He's like, don't call me sir. It's weird. Like, we saved the universe together. You can call me Steven. And he calls him Steven. He's like, it's weird, but I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And then after he botches the spell, he's like, I'm sorry, Steven. He goes, it's sir.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, after all the things that we've been through, and he apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, Peter. I sometimes forget. After all the things we've been through, you're still just a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's tough to hear, but it's so real.
Accurate, yeah.
Man, like, he's just a kid. Like, and Steven's like, I'm sorry, Peter. I forget that we saved the universe, but you're just a kid.
Yeah.
Like, and so Peter goes on his way. Steven, he's like, just like, we're done here. Go. I can't. He's like, and then it's funny because the way that he sends him on his way is like, he's like, you know what? Like, if after you pleaded your case and MIT still won't accept you and your friends, and he goes, wait, I can plead my case? And he goes, You mean you didn't call them? And he's like, well, I mean, I got their letter, but I just assumed that once I read it and they said no, that was kind of it. And he's like, you mean to tell me that you didn't think to call and argue with them to let you in before you had me brainwash the entire planet? And he's just kind of like, well, when you say it like that,
yeah.
like, and then we see him walking out of the door and the door slamming behind him. So good.
It was great.
And yeah, and then of course Peter's first goal is get on the phone, Flash.
Yeah.
Where's this MIT party try? I need to talk to some people.
Yep.
And then he has that little bit with Flash where he's like, I'll tell everyone you're my best friend. And then he goes to the bridge.
Yes. So he's trying to find the MIT person,
advisor or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is when things get really real.
So this is when we find out that while the spell did not work,
no, it did not.
Everybody that knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, even in different multiverses,
were pulled. There were a few that crept in during the breaking of the multiverse that crept in and are now in our universe.
Yep.
And man, this scene on the bridge, man, he locates this MIT lady and he's trying to talk her into, hearing their case or whatever. You know, he's like,
not even for him.
He's like, look, my friends are the best ever. I don't care about me. Like, please let my friends into this college. They deserve it. They did nothing wrong. It was all me. Please reconsider. And he says it horribly. And she's like, you didn't practice that, did you, Peter? And he's like, no, I didn't practice. And all of a sudden, Spidey sense goes off.
Yeah.
And we have this really surreal moment where just the look on his face, like something just got real.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden these cars start getting sucked into the bridge, and we find out that it's because underneath the bridge is Dr. Octopus. I took my son to this movie. This was his first movie theater movie
That's
ever.
awesome. That's awesome.
I love this kid so much. He's sitting next to me.
Has he seen
cuddled up?
Spider-Man?
No.
Okay.
Cuddled up with a bag of popcorn. Just going to town. Just watching the movie.
Yeah.
And as Alfred Molina comes up out of the bridge and says, "Hello, Peter."
Hello, Peter.
I look over at my son and he goes, "Dr. Octopus." And I'm like, "You're damn right it is." Like I just as a parent and as a fan, he was seriously just like he was expressing what I was feeling on the inside. Like he's just like, Dr. Octopus. And he goes back to eating his popcorn, man. I just loved it, dude. He did so great at his first movie. He was zoned in, dude.
That's awesome.
And it was, but seriously, that scene, Alfred Molina comes out and he's, that fight scene. Wow.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Amazing, dude.
Fantastic.
The choreography, the CGI, all of it, dude, was just so good, man. And
cars flying.
Cars flying. Those giant concrete cylinder. Dude, oh my gosh. I love how he got wrecked with one of those and then just like, oh, whatever. Like, kept jogging over to save the MIT advisor lady. I'm like, dude, you just got hit with like an 18-ton concrete cylinder. What are you like? You just really?
You into a car. His whole goal was saving people on the bridge because he saved
the whole time.
Yeah, there were people,
because that's what he does.
The car that fell off, he's saving them.
What did the Spider-Man say? It's what we do.
It's what we do. Yeah.
It's what we do, man. Oh, so then, Doc Ock absorbs the nanites from Spider-Man's costume by breaking it, and they kind of like transfer. And that's how we kind of saw those clips of like him having like what appeared to be like Tony Stark style tentacles. It's because the nanites covered his 4 robotical arms or whatever. But
that ended up being a bad idea for him.
That ended up being a bit of a bad idea because then all of a sudden Peter now has Wi-Fi Bluetooth control of his robotic arms, which was the funniest thing.
He's sitting there.
He's like,
and they're moving
hi. He's like waving. Oh my gosh, dude. And then So Peter ends up saving MIT lady and then having full control of Doc Ock's arms. And as he kind of like is in control, Alfred Molina, Doc Ock's still trying to lay him out. And he's like, look, if you don't stop what you're doing, look at me. I'm in full control. You stop that right now. Hilarious. And then things get a little bit real. All of a sudden, Peter tingle again.
Yeah.
Spider sense.
Yep.
And we know it's not Doc Ock, so what's happening? Next thing you know,
pumpkin bombs.
Pumpkin bombs, dude. Just start lighting up the bridge. And then out of the smoke, glides out Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
So, did you know that one of the demands he had coming back to the movie was he wanted to do his own fight scenes, and he did not want to be de-aged.
Good.
And it was
He
gorgeous.
wasn't de-aged?
No, he was not de-aged.
That man is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Dude,
immortal.
he looks exactly... Dude, him and Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
and like Paul Rudd. What baby's blood are they drinking? I want in, dog. Like, are you kidding me?
And what's funny is Alfred Molina was the exact opposite. He was like, I'm
"Please
too
make
old
me
to
look
fight,
younger." Oh,
and
God.
make me look a little younger, and yeah.
That's great. Dude, okay, so...
Willem Dafoe was a madman, though.
Dude, I love it.
Willem Dafoe
It's what
is a
made
madman,
that
and
character,
I love it.
man.
Oh yeah, no, he was
So-
so perfect. As
So then he
Goblin.
flies in, and all of a sudden, Peter and Alfred Molina get, like, Doctor Strange portaled away.
Yeah.
And Peter's kind of like, what? And he turns, and all of a sudden, in his face, the lizard.
The lizard.
Dude, that's...
It was the lizard from the
scared
Amazing
hell.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I wasn't ready for out of the darkness, this giant monster to come roaring at... Dude, I was like... Then we come to find out Doc Ock, the lizard, are now in containment cells.
They're in wizard cells.
They're in wizards asylum cells. No,
Yeah, hey!
So
That was a wizard asylum.
and then it gets a little crazy. Doctor
A little
Strange
bit.
is like, hey, here. He gifts him this really cool bracelet where he can shoot like kind of a web at somebody, and when it hits them, they appear in one of the cells.
Yep.
And so he says, hey, you're going to go out there. You're going to find these other dudes that crept into this universe. You're going to hit them with this, and you're going to fix this. And he goes, okay, but I need some help. Next thing you know, old Ned, kid in a candy store, dude, comes walking in. He goes, I can't believe I'm in the Sanctum Sanctorum. And Doctor Strange goes, yeah, me either.
That was hilarious.
And he's like, and as soon as he walks in,
fanboying,
he's
man.
fanboying hard, dude. He's like, oh my God, what is this? Oh my God, look at this. And MJ's just like, so what are we doing?
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange is like, you're going to fix this problem. You're going to Scooby-Doo this crap, right?
He didn't
Only
say
he
crap.
didn't say crap. And then, so great. She's like, well, I know a couple of magic words that start with please. And he's like, please Scooby-Doo this crap. And so off they go. They start doing a little homework.
go down in the
Yeah,
basement?
they're going on. Yeah, they go. Yeah, the basement, which was it's like a washer and dryer, a torture rack that Ned's freaking out about. Dude, Ned was killing me, dude.
Hilarious.
He's us.
Yeah.
He is
Oh, yeah,
all in the
100%.
theater watching this movie. That's us. We're just like, oh my God, like it's so great, dude. And then this is where they start finding the other bad guys. And the first one was Electro.
Yeah. So
Jamie Foxx, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, looks amazing.
My wife had never seen the second Amazing Spider-Man. She didn't like the first one. She had never seen the second one.
That's a shame.
She didn't even know that Jamie Foxx was a bad guy in a Spider-Man
That's a
movie.
shame, dude. Oh,
I know.
because that's when Gwen goes, dude.
Yeah, it is.
And that's
it is.
and dude, that tied in so heavily later. Dude, like
It did.
Andrew Garfield, dude, he hurt my heart with his performance. Dude.
Yeah.
Like Tobey Maguire was like really chill and almost kind of weird.
Yeah.
How like quiet and just like whatever he was, but dude, like Andrew Garfield was like ripping at my heartstrings.
I feel that. Okay, I didn't like the Amazing Spider-Man movies as much as I like the Tom Holland or the Andrew Garfield
yeah,
movies.
and really
okay?
nobody. I mean, I enjoyed them a lot, but I totally.
It is a travesty that he didn't get a third movie.
Yeah,
in
he
his-
should
in
have. He
his,
really should have, man.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
he should have gotten a third movie, but Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's too late now.
but
I
he
mean, I
did
guess he
great.
did get a third movie now.
Oh yeah, technically he did. But yeah, so then they start, they start going on these fights, dude. And I'm telling you, the fight scenes, man.
Well,
and I
so-
love how at first, so he's looking for Electro out randomly in these around these giant power lines or whatever. And the first person you actually come across is Sandman.
Yeah, and he helps him.
And he's like creeping in the shadows, which was super creepy, dude. Like I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Sandman. But still, I'm like, bro, it's like dark, and he's just kind of like misting and wafting around behind these trees and stuff, dude. I'm like, yo, this is kind of creepy, dude. Like, and then all of a sudden, here comes Electro powering up or whatever, and Sandman saves his life.
He's like, hey, what's up,
He's
Peter?
he's like, Peter, it's me. What's going on? And he's like, what? Who are you? What's happening? I don't know you. What? Dude, he's like, what? What do you mean you're not Peter? Like, oh, he's like, yeah, no, you're in a different universe. I'll explain in a little bit. Can you help me with this guy? He's like, yeah, okay, let's go. I'll surround him. You can do whatever.
And that's the thing. Sandman was never a bad guy. I mean,
yeah. But I love how they kind of teamed up and took down Electro. That was really cool. And then and then and then at the end, the Sandman's kind of like, well, hold up. Like, if you just did, what did you just do to him? And he starts kind of like winding up a big sand fist, like, what's going on here? And then he's like, I'm sorry. And he shoots him with his thing, and then they're both in the cell. And then it's, hey, I'm sorry, guys, but we're going to send you all back to your homes. And then come to find out, over half the bad guys in this room died.
Yeah.
In their universe.
Yeah.
And right when they died or whatever, or they somehow...
That's the last thing they remember.
Is fighting Spider-Man.
Yeah, before they were...
And all of a sudden, they come to and they're in our universe.
Yeah.
And
so they were pulled literally right before they died.
And then Strange comes around, he's like, hey, great, you caught them all, time to send them home. And they're like, well, so I'm just going to die? Like, you're just going to... And Peter's like, we can't do that. Because
Doctor Strange is like,
it's what we do. He's
it's
like,
their destiny.
He's like, it's their fate.
It's their fate, yeah.
And then he starts doing the spell to send him home. And then Peter, whip,
yanks the box.
Magic with a fist, or magic with a kick. Like, I'm going to take that. And he takes off, and he steals this thing from Strange so that he can't send him home because he wants to cure them so that when he sends them home, those things never happen.
And then we get this great Doctor Strange.
This amazing mirror dimension battle.
If you've ever seen Doctor Strange, it was that.
Dude,
I mean, it was so much fun.
Mirror dimension fight between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man all day. Sign me up, please. Like, give me more. And I love the way that it ended. They're Spider-Man's all about just keeping this box away from Strange so that he can't kill these bad guys because he wants to help them. And at this point, he had also found Green Goblin. Yeah. Green Goblin, Norman, had come to his senses, because he's a little bit of two different...
He is Norman Osborn.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and he
is
goes back to Norman Osborn. He even breaks his own Green Goblet, or Goblin helmet. Yeah. Because it's talking to him and he's freaking out. And then he finds Peter, and you can see that he's broken and scared and just like, he wants help. Yeah. And that is kind of what pushes Peter to be like, hey, we need to help them, not hurt them, And so his whole goal is keep the box away from Strange. Yeah. And next thing you know, they're in this crazy mirror dimension, and Peter figures out
geometry.
It's just geometry. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay, so if I do this, and he starts shooting all these webs, and he pulls them together, and next thing you know, he wraps up Doctor Strange in a web, and he's like, and then he steals the box, and then he takes off out of a portal, out of the mirror dimension, and traps him.
And steals his ring.
And steals his little portal ring. And then things get real. Yes. Peter decides, I want to save you.
I'm going to help all of you.
I'm going to help all of you. Who's with me? Like, I'm going to save your life so that when I send you home, you're not dead. And they're like, well, I don't want to die, so all right, let's get it. And so then they start this journey. And then they figure out a plan. Yeah, they figure out a plan, and they're like, hey, we're going to use this machine that builds stuff, and then we're going to save everybody, and it's going to cure you guys, and you're going to be just fine. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to send you home. Well, come to find out, there was someone on the team who was on board, but wasn't actually on board.
Yeah. Who could that have been?
Who could that have possibly? Who could have switched sides like that? Who could have been so back and forth? Dude, Willem Dafoe.
When he changes from Norman Osborn to Green Goblin, it's just
It's scary.
It is. It is
Dude,
scary.
That is a scary dude. Like,
yeah.
and it's so cool because when you see him change, you understand why he is one of Spider-Man's greatest villains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
he is
like when they're
bipolar,
fighting. When they're fighting, Peter gets up on top of him and he's just wailing on relentlessly into him, and all he's doing is laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
That
dark.
was scary.
Yeah.
Man. And of course, Aunt May.
Yeah.
During this fight with Green Goblin, when all the villains break out, Aunt May takes a big fat.
So I always wondered, what was there an Uncle Ben in this universe? We never heard about him.
Yeah.
So apparently there wasn't. There's never been an Uncle Ben. When they start talking about the other Spider-Man, start talking about Uncle Ben later, like he doesn't know Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
But what did his aunt say to him right before?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. That was. I mean, that had always been Uncle Ben. So in this,
and this is after a big fight scene. After this big fight
May.
Scene. Yes.
The one we were saving.
It's
yeah.
unfortunately the death of Aunt May.
That was a very hard scene to watch. I really liked
that was
her
rough.
as
Aunt May.
Aunt May, but I guess I feel like there had never been the consequences like the other Spider-Man had because we never got the
that loss.
Uncle Ben scene, you know? And so now we have that. We have that Uncle Ben scene, but it was Aunt May this time.
Yeah.
And
then
it hurt.
Yeah, and then Peter's broken.
Oh yeah.
And at this point we start going Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Old Ned finds out that he's magic and he starts opening portals. I want to see
love
Peter.
when he finds out he's magic. Oh my god.
He's like, I need to see Peter Parker. And it's like, oh, so it opens a portal and next thing you know, there's Spider-Man. Yeah. We're like, oh, okay, cool, it's Spider-Man. And then through the portal comes Andrew Garfield. And the whole theater
it erupted.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he does it again. And it's Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then at this point we realize not only did some bad guys get pulled across, but some good guys got pulled across too. And then it's game time.
I love when she wanted him to prove that he was Spider-Man.
He jumps
up and like grabs the roof.
She's like, crawl across the roof. He's like, why?
This is not good enough.
I don't need to crawl. He's like, no, this is it. You know it's
and
okay.
then the ground,
it's okay. Just let it go. She's like, don't throw bread at me.
And the grandma's like,
can you get the cobweb?
Yeah, can you get the cobweb?
And he's like, yeah, sure. The three Spider-Man were my favorite part of the entire movie.
Did you catch the meme, the three Spider-Man pointing at each other?
No, that never happened.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. It was when Ned goes, "Hey, Peter," and they're like, "We're all Peter," and like there is a point where they're all like pointing at each other.
And I totally missed this.
I was looking for it, man. I
was too, but I didn't see. Oh, I was probably too busy laughing because Ned was being such a clown, dude.
Right?
So then all three Spider-Men come together. They realize that together they can cure all the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then send them home.
Yeah.
Then it's fight time.
So, well, they got to get the bad guys there. So he decides to call into J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, dude, that was the Daily View.
I love J. Jonah Jameson.
Great, man.
And he taunts them, and he's taking them to the
Statue of Liberty.
Being renovated Statue of Liberty.
Being turned into a new statue that would be holding Captain America's shield.
That was so ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Cap's dead and are gone or whatever.
I get it. Like, he was what America was all about. Like,
yeah.
And so is the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
like, put those two things together. Why not? But I feel like it should have been the book that got replaced, not the thing.
Right.
She should have been holding it down here, not way up there. But
whatever.
At this point, we've had some amazing banter from the Spider-Man, and then it's fight time. They start curing these bad guys and working together, and they eventually end up saving the multiverse, technically.
Well,
Kind
they
of.
got into a little bit of trouble there.
And that's where the next Doctor Strange movie is going to come in.
Yeah.
And I am so excited.
So
This movie was incredible.
it was. Now I have to say that ending was heartbreaking. So
I loved it.
I did too. I absolutely loved it.
absolutely
It was
loved it.
heartbreaking.
And it was
so
really hard.
Peter realizes that the only way to so the universe is about to break. Like there are these big purple things in the sky
Big
and
rifts where all the
Yeah.
and you can see the shapes of other people.
Yeah.
Rhino was one of
Yeah,
them. You could see
yeah,
his horn as
yeah.
he.
that was awesome.
They're all starting to come through, and
He's like, they're coming through, and I can't stop
I
them.
can't stop this. And he says, "What if no one knew who I was?"
And that's the spell he has to cast.
And they find out, and of course Steven is like, "Well, yeah, that would work, but I'm not doing that to you." And he's like, "Yeah, you are. You're gonna do it right now
This
because
is what we have to
he's
do.
like, even I will not know who you are." And he's like, "Thank you, sir." And he goes, "Call me Steve."
It's still weird.
It's still weird, but call me Steve.
Um,
And then he does it. He
does
casts the spell over the whole
well,
world.
he got to say goodbye to MJ, and
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
promise me you'll come look for me.
Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna forget who I am, but I'm gonna come and find you. I promise." And they make him promise.
They do.
And then he goes. He goes to the diner that MJ works at, and of course Ned
Ned's
walks in, and
there,
they're talking
yeah.
about MIT,
Yeah.
and he has it written out. "Hi, my name's Peter Parker. You don't know me, but..." And he's practicing it as he's walking there. And he gets there, he gets up to the counter, and he says, "Hi, my name's Peter Parker,
Let me get a
and I'd
latte.
like a cup of coffee."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Okay, Peter Parker."
He sees how happy they are. They both got accepted into MIT.
How their lives are going to be just fine.
Their lives are going to be
Now,
wonderful without him in their
now
lives,
that
which
he-
is
yeah. It hurts.
It did. It hurt. It was
An emotional
ending.
roller coaster.
It was.
This movie, and we haven't even touched on everything, but we're not gonna drag on too long. We're about to wrap
run
up.
out of
but
time, but
an
yeah.
amazing
So it
movie.
ends on a pretty down note.
Yeah.
But then he realizes everybody's going to be okay.
And then we see the Peter Parker we've always known, a broke Peter Parker who has no one in his life who knows that he's Peter Parker. He
Ran a rundown.
yeah. I thought the dude who paid me rent. I thought that dude was gonna be
funny.
I would have
hilarious.
lost it, dude.
Yeah.
I was as soon as I heard
Rent's due on the first of the month.
Rent is due on the first of the month. I was like, that wasn't that guy. And then they never showed him. I was like, what a wasted opportunity.
That would have been awesome.
But now we see that Peter Parker that we've always known. He's going to be
Yeah.
broke. He's going to know nobody, and
He
he's
is a
gonna
friendly
struggle
neighborhood Spider-Man.
as a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The
And
best movie of the year.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. It was a
Amazing.
masterpiece.
You've got to go see it, guys. You got to go see it.
And then there was a mid-credit scene. And it was Venom.
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock. So, okay, I saw TikTok. Okay. My wife sent it to me. I don't actually watch TikTok, so let me
Nice
just say
save,
that.
bro. Nice save. Yeah, sure.
So, okay, Eddie Brock would not have known a Peter Parker, so
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been pulled into it. So I'm glad he was in the movie. I'm glad it was a funny mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
But my wife sent me this TikTok last night. Okay, there's a scene in Venom where the symbiote says to Eddie, I've seen 80 million light years across universes. So remember, the symbiotes are a hive mind. A symbiote has known that it has infected Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And so does this symbiote know that this symbiote from the other universe connected through a hive mind?
Maybe
and that's how Eddie Brock
Maybe that's
was
why
pulled into
when
this
he
one.
saw him on the TV, he licked it. He was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why, dude, because he
Maybe.
already knew.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's go.
That was such a funny scene. Oh my god.
I love how he he gets blipped away or flashes away or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we see that little blob of
Venom.
Venom on the table.
Yeah.
And then it's sitting there and you're like,
Oh no.
is it? And then it starts moving.
It starts moving.
You're like,
yeah. Me and like
this
other people
is
in
it.
theater were like, what is that? And then it moves and we're like, oh, that's Venom.
let's get it. And then the final post-credit scene.
Oh yeah. It was just a trailer. It was a trailer
A
for
full-blown
Yeah.
trailer.
Oh man.
For multiverse of, I freaked out.
Oh, me too.
I wasn't
Me too.
ready for that, dude.
Um,
That was amazing.
Wanda in the full get up,
doing her little.
Yeah. Oh, so sexy. I loved it. Plus, we got to see the back of America Chavez. So she is like a multiverse jumping
Dude,
character.
it's all happening,
And she was the one in the denim jacket with the star on it. Got to see her. He went out and he talked to Wanda, and he's like,
we need your help.
he's like, well, she's like, why are you here? And he's like, hey, this isn't about.
Yeah, Westfield. Yeah, Westview or Westfield or whatever. Yeah, she's like, well, then what do you want? She's like, I need your help.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I like how it ended.
Yeah.
Evil Doctor Strange.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
I'm
I can't
geeking.
wait.
We're geeking. We're all geeking. This is what we do.
It's gonna be such a fun movie.
It has never been a better time.
And that is the next
to be
movie
a
coming
comic
out.
fan.
So that'll be out in March of next year, either March or May.
I was about to say, I
was
feel
an
like
eight
it
month.
comes out at. So Batman comes out in March, and I feel like that one comes out in April.
When I saw
or
Batman
May.
trailer, we're not even getting into that, but it looks great. Colin Farrell is.
I know, dude.
What?
So that's Spider-Man No Way Home. You guys,
Yeah, no,
you have got to go see it.
So
wow.
Next
man.
year we end up getting Multiverse of Madness. Then we get Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, and then we get Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's going to be a year.
It is.
Right
I'm
there.
so excited for all three of these movies.
And you guys are going to be on the ride with us.
All right, yeah.
So excited, guys.
We'll be
Thank
talking
you
about
so
it.
much for checking it out. Appreciate all the love and support, guys. Please keep it coming. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
2 weeks.
And True.
We're taking a week off.
We're gonna take
Sorry,
it
guys.
for Christmas for Merry Christmas. Okay. Bear with us.
So it'll be the Monday after New Year's that we actually won't have a show.
Yep.
And then we'll come back.
And then we will come back. Correct. So we will
Whatever
see
day
you
that is.
guys next year.
Next year. Yeah.